So we are back, Rams franchise. In the last stream, we went over the off season, draft, free agency, preseason, all that good stuff. And we are now officially on to phase 3 of this series. If you don't know what phase 3 is, it's I think, new phase, honestly. So there's 4 phases, obviously. Well, I say obviously, you guys probably don't know. First phase is what I normally do, where it's just, I watch games week by week. And then phase 2, which is something that started last year with the Browns, is where I actually play some games. Normally there's only been 2 phases or 3 phases. Phase 3, which is normally phase 2, is where, we do one season at a time for an episode. And phase 4 is where we just do multiple seasons at a time per episode or stream, whatever it may be. We are now on to phase 3, which used to be phase 2, where we do one season at a time. So how this is going to work is I am going to let the CPU take over of most of the impactful stuff. So scouts, that's their choice. Regular season contracts, their choice. We'll quickly set the season goal to make the playoffs. We will not be playing games. We will not be interacting with said games. We are going to simply, for some games, like this one, opening night, skip weekly strategy. That's up to the CPU to decide now, which I think I've already done. But I set a lot of things to auto. I set contract negotiations to auto. Now, granted, I am allowed to do contract negotiations. The only rule I'm giving myself is it has to be in that re-sign players week. That is the only rule. Other than that, I cannot do it. I'm allowed to check. I might allow myself to do it in week 3, so the earliest possible time, but I am not allowed to do it really outside that. Same thing, I might make it to where I can do it week 18. Just know, since this series is now fully automatic, I'm not going to count it towards, my win-loss. Well, I mean, I will, obviously. But, obviously, 32-19, that sucks. I made the playoffs every single year I was fully in charge. It shows how great of a coach, GM that I am. We lose to the Cardinals. Now, for that as well, that was just a one-time thing since it was week 1. Most of the time, I am going to be advancing to week just normally and not actually, watching those games. The only time I'm going to do that is if it's a big game. Like I said, week 1. Week 1's a pretty big game, especially against the Cardinals. They're a division team. Who wouldn't want to watch that? But we pick up the win 42-21. Focus scouting. That's up to the GM. Or not the GM, the CPU. I'm the GM, but I'm taking a step back. I see the only thing that our manual is week advancement, obviously, because I have to. And then these are both also. But I can actually just make these automatic as well. Make everything auto except league advancement. Alright, everything should be fine. Make everything automatic. Now, with it being automatic, the key thing is I could still do it. Like you can see, I can scout if I wanted to. I'm not going to, but I do have the choice to. It's just it lets the CPU also do it. Carl Crawford's one player of the week with 300 passing yards and 6 touchdowns. Had the same amount of touchdowns as he did in completion, which is 6, which is really good. Week 3 now against the Green Bay Packers. We're going to end up losing that one 34-31. Now, you may also notice I don't even have a re-sign players option. Oh, I can if I go here, though. We only have 16 million, so this is honestly not a bad, free agency. But this is, what our class would be. Really good, honestly. Demario Conley, really the big one. Philip Ellington, he is a solid depth player. I don't think he's really started all too much. Demario Conley, we have 16 mil. We cannot afford him. Nate Haskins, it's about time, I think. So a few decent guys. Not necessarily a lot of these guys are starters, but they have been backups for a long time for this team. Week 4 now. Steelers. We ended up winning 41-24. We got another weekly award. Carl Crawford, 4 touchdowns, 326 yards. The key thing is, depending on how long this stream goes, I could actually be returning to video format for a bit in order to get some of these done. Because I don't know if I'll be able to get all of this done. I'm just really busy right now. And I'll go ahead and say, before I haven't uploaded for a while. It's been over a week, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less. Matthew Harper goes injured for 3 games. We ended up losing 26-24. Yikes, we've pretty much lost by 1 score twice. Cardinals game being the exception. So the reason I haven't done Rams franchise in a while before today is I have been on the fence about it. I wanted to do phase 3, but I wasn't quite ready to commit. We win that one 24-17. Seahawks, this is going to be one we actually end up watching. So for that reason, I haven't done it yet. Now, obviously, as you can see, I have committed to it. So yeah. But basically, I don't know what's going on. I have a lot going on in my life right now. And like, not good stuff. Wow, they just won that 42-38. That sucks. So, yeah, I'm not really feeling anything right now. Just a lot to be negative about. But I'm here. I'm powering through for you guys. National focus, not my job. Should probably hit delegate decisions to staff now that I'm thinking about it. Just to be safe. Because I am still going to be drafting players. We lose another one by 1 score. This sucks. We know how this game's gonna go, so I'm just gonna do my thing real quick. Fuck the Cowboys. But yeah, a lot of stuff's happened. I guess I can say my mom's currently in the hospital for who knows how long. Uh, I'm not gonna say why, but she is. So yeah, we ended up winning obviously because it was a fourth win. So I'm here, not exactly in the greatest position, but I'm here nonetheless. 49ers at least also having a bad season. We're still in a great spot to make the playoffs, even though we're at the 12th spot. As you can see, the 7 seed, wherever they are, Cowboys are 5-5. So we're only a game out of the playoffs. We just quite simply have to be winning a lot of these games. As you see, we keep losing one score. And these wins sometimes are huge, 44-18. These are some games we have to be winning. We move up to the 9 seed with that. The Seahawks game is real big because it is a division game. Plus, it looks like winner would have a good chance at winning, or not winning, excuse me, leading the division. So we're gonna go ahead and watch this one. So yeah, hopefully we can win. Obviously, that'd be pretty fun. So this is going by real fast. Is the thing. So these videos are going to probably be short. We're up 14-3. Then again, though, we were last time. We were up 2 scores towards for a bit, and then we ended up losing. I mean, look at that. We were up 14-3. It's flipped to 17-14, 24-14, and we lose that one. So that's going to hurt a lot. I'd still say playoffs are very much likely on the table. It's just we are currently now, 5-7? We probably are looking to have to win out or, go 4-1. Yeah, this has been 12 minutes. This is huge. Do we pick up the win? 35-31. We keep our hopes alive. Dallas loses. They're at 7-6. We're gonna have to hope for a few things. We're gonna have to hope to one, win out is our best path right now is winning out. Two, we have to hope Dallas lose one, and three, we have to hope Arizona loses one. So we pick up the win over the 49ers. We're now 7-7, tied with the Cardinals still, so they're still doing well. Cowboys, they won their game, so they're still ahead of us. Who's the other team? Detroit. Detroit, we could potentially pass up as well. Now, I don't know if we've played Detroit. I haven't really been paying attention to teams we've played. I'm not seeing them. So, for a tiebreaker when it comes down to Detroit, don't know. But we do play Arizona week 18, so that's good. We do have a chance to knock them off. We win this one 35-31. Arizona's still winning. Dallas still winning. Detroit's still winning. Week 17 against Cleveland. We have to win to pretty much guarantee a chance for week 18. We win 30-24. Cardinals, they end up losing. Cowboys, they end up losing. We are in the playoffs. Here's the thing, though. There's one game to go in this season, and it is against the Arizona Cardinals, who blew us out week 1. So this is a big game. This is going to decide if we make the playoffs. Win and then lose, we're done for. To keep the playoff streak alive, we have not missed the playoffs yet this series. Will that streak continue? And you best believe we're going to be watching this game. I don't think we've won a single game I've watched. We lost to the Cardinals. We lost to the Seahawks twice. We have not. Let's see if the curse will be lifted or if it'll repeat history. No matter what, we've guaranteed a winning record, which in my eyes is still a successful season. But obviously, Week 18, we're still alive for a playoff spot and we control our own destiny. Not making the playoffs would be very disappointing if you ask me. 3-0, 10-0, 10-3. 10-6, 17-6, 20-6. Yeah! Yeah! Playoffs! We sneak in at 10-7. We're gonna get that 7 seed, assuming, Detroit and Minnesota, don't do better than what they're actually going to, do worse. We have a new injury to talk about. D'Angelo Spice or JC Thomas. It's one of them. I assume D'Angelo Spice. He's going to be out for literally every game but the Super Bowl, which we're probably not going to make, if we're being honest. We got hot at the right time. Like I said, we were 5-7. We ended up going 10-7, winning 5 in a row. We end up getting the 6th seed. It looks like Minnesota lost, which dropped them out of the playoffs. Detroit also lost, but they ended up still being the 5 seed. I guess ultimately they did have tiebreaker, which then allows Dallas to get in at the 7 seed. So no matter what happened, Arizona wasn't going to make it. Even if they beat us, they would have still been the 8th seed. If we would have lost, it would have just allowed Minnesota to get that 7 seed and then, bump Dallas up to the 6. But we've made the playoffs. We're obviously going to look at the playoff picture. Seahawks Cowboys, I mean, that's a pretty tough one because we hate the Seahawks. They're division rival, but EA loves the Cowboys, so we hate them naturally because of it. Bears, Rams, we've done well against the Bears in the playoffs. Curious to see if that is going to uphold. Buccaneers, Lions should be a good one. Raiders, Chargers, you got a divisional one in the wild card. That's always going to be fun. You got the Bills, Broncos. I don't really know too much about the AFC teams. And then Texans, Patriots, same thing. Don't really know too much. And then the Steelers and Giants getting the first round bye. So obviously it's the playoffs. We're going to be watching these games. The Bears are only 11-6, so we're only a game behind them. So it looks like the AFC or the NFC minus the Giants was really close. And we have a snow game. Something I'm really excited for in Madden 26 is the snow. Chicago gets stuffed at the goal line. They respond by a defensive stop and a touchdown. They're doing a great job on the stop. 14-0 now. They get another stop. 21-0 to end the half. 21-7. Can the Rams make a last-second comeback? 21-14. They're trying their best. But it's not going to be enough. 21-14. Chicago gets the dub. I also need to quickly. The CPU is in control of the roster. I don't know if I mentioned that. So they could have traded anyone. They could have cut anyone. We're going to go ahead and go to the Rams and find out what exactly they've done. They signed a center. They cut a middle linebacker. We re-signed Matthew Jones to a 5-year. Now, I don't even know who Matthew Jones. I didn't know he was a free agent. How did we re-sign these guys? They weren't even there for me. Nazir Queen, Henry McDowell, Derek Samuels, Matthew Jones, are you able to re-sign a year into the future like you are in real life? I did not know that. Maybe it's just the CPUs that can do that. But that's really cool. I didn't see any trades though. It looks like we just re-signed a few guys. Like I said, I don't know how. I didn't know you were able to re-sign a year into the future. I would obviously have done that. You know, guys who I like for sure know are going to be good. But Carl Crawford's quarterback number 2 in the Pro Bowl. Derek Samuels as tight end number 1. McDowell left guard 2. Jeff Brown, I want to say, a D tackle 2. Terrence Sweeney at right side linebacker 1. Chris Ben at quarterback 4, former guy for us. Love to see it. Joshua Carty at kicker 1. I know that's how you spell Jeff and our guy Jeff, but I just don't know if that's the guy who made the Pro Bowl. So it looks like it's going to be the Broncos and the Giants. So it looks like the Broncos actually weren't they the 5 seed? I want to say they were the 6 seed. So they ended up playing every game on the road. Ended up still making it. Way to go, them. Giants obviously went 15-2, so they are a great team. But the winner of the 2035 Super Bowl is the Broncos. Well, actually, let's check because I know sometimes EA likes to bamboozle us. Yep, they did. The Giants, 28-20, with halfback Quan Shepard getting Super Bowl MVP. Looking on the right side, Parker Tobin of the Cowboys gets league MVP. Lamont Booker of the Giants gets Coach of the Year. Carlos Forsett for the Broncos, Offensive Player of the Year. Dave Blackburn of the Bills, Defensive Rookie, or player, excuse me, Offensive Rookie is Luke Gaines for us, wide receiver, and Defensive Rookie is Mike McPhee for the Lions. I did not know we had a new receiver. Actually, yes, I did. What am I talking about? But we're obviously going to look at the retirement, see who's deciding to hang up the cleats. Puka Nacua, someone we just recently let go. He is going to, I believe, actually last season. Decides ultimately time to call quits. Great career to you. A lot of guys we formerly had, or excuse me, a lot of real guys. None that we formerly had, though, surprisingly. Quincy McKenzie, here's someone we did have. He was actually one of our draft picks in our very first draft. I believe he was our 3rd pick. It was Mike Winkler, the left tackle, who we don't talk about. And then Dylan Northcutt, and then him. Cameron Kitchens, former guy for us, spent a lot of time. Same thing with him. I believe we just let him go last year. Tanner Bortolini, we ended up signing as a backup for a year. I don't even remember if he made the roster, but he retires. We'll still mention him, so congrats to him. All right. So a bunch of guys calling it quits. We are in staff week, so we're not quite at re-sign. So obviously we're going to advance week. Sorry, I don't care about the storylines. We want to re-sign our guys, or at least try. We have 230K. LaRon Mitchell, I guess tried to get it done, but weren't able to. We're able to franchise tag him if we choose. I guess we won't do anything. We'll let the CPU decide if they want to franchise tag LaRon Mitchell. That's, I feel like, a call I should not make in this situation. If you want my personal opinion, I very rarely, and I'm trying to think if I've ever even done it in this series, franchise tag people. Free agency, we're not going to participate. We don't have the money to anyway. We only have $1 million. Go ahead, sim to the draft. We still at the same cap space, so I'm assuming the CPU didn't try and wiggle around, or if they did, it's just crazy coincidence. Cool. We have 2 first-round picks. It looks like 14 and 19. So, I mean, they're barely separate. I just want to. We're gonna simulate picks so I can see like how good it is and all that stuff. Crowd sounds happy. We're not even able to see that. Okay. All I have to go off of is the crowd sound happy. So I guess we'll do that for our big picks. All right, Roger Goodell. Sounds like a good pick. Again, we ended up taking a tight end in the first and a right tackle with our second one. Going to round 2 now. We have quite a few. It looks like 4 of them actually. We ended up taking a corner. I personally think we should probably trade away some of these. I randomed it by spamming, so don't get mad at me. Oh, yes, seconds and fours for both of our seconds. We still have one more. Watch all the first 2-day picks. So first, second, third. Which I think that'd also be really cool if they added a feature for that in Madden. To where you could actually set the draft up. So it is, day based. So where you can only, for example, it kind of let you reevaluate what you truly want. We'll actually trade away our earliest one. Looks like this Broncos one moved down a few picks. A lot because they were the AFC champions. Simulate the pick. We get a middle linebacker. Some clapping. We take another tight end, however. Brian Shaw, isn't that a real person? Isn't that like an athlete or like a bodybuilder or some shit? Take a right end. All right, and we'll advance to the. We'll see what this. There we go. We're in the fourth round officially. We'll go to the end of the draft. Some more retirements. Howie Swaga and Tommy Townsend retired apparently during, yeah. Draft recap though, we are $8.5 million in debt, but that's okay. We ended up drafting a 73 tight end, a 71 right tackle, a 71 and 68 corner, 72 middle linebacker, 71 tight end. Sorry, we're just establishing some tight end depth. 66 right end, a 64 quarterback, a 70 corner, 68 middle linebacker, 67 left tackle, 67 right end, and 65 left guard. And then George Mays, 65 right tackle. All right. Not quite sure I like where the CPU's going. Very interesting to see those picks. But then again, preseason, we don't care about whatsoever. We'll go ahead and sim week by week to see, how we do. We're not making the final decision on the rosters. We win 24-21. About to say, we're officially in the automated phase. All I do at this point is sim the preseason or sim the weeks. I control that. Colts 24-20. Last, definitely not least, the Bengals, also 2-0. Big game. 33-27. They win. And finally, we get to week 1. Keep auto-generated rookies. That's the only thing I really have to do, as well as I guess we'll set our season goal since we're here. Obviously, haven't failed yet. Why would we now? Last thing we are going to do before we end this episode, very short episode. That's how it's going to be. We're going to kind of go back to how we were when we started. A lot of good tight ends. I'm looking at it. Really great. Didn't we have a good backup quarterback? What happened to him? Did we cut our backup quarterback? Interesting move by the CPU. I mean, it makes somewhat sense. You don't necessarily need a backup. It was not Sal Jowers. What the fuck? Released Greg McCollum, Kari Devine, Nazir Queen, Jason Bryan. I have no idea who he is, so that's fine. And Dylan Northcutt. What are we doing? Well, they've obviously signed somewhere else now. Is that for cap purposes? I'm so lost. Colts signed Dylan Northcutt, who I really hoped would have been a Ram for life. I'm happy for him though. Cardinals signed Kari Devine, so we just let a guy get. What the fuck? I haven't even seen the other guys. Which I don't know how I haven't. We released. I'm so confused. We released Nazir Queen. Oh wow, Nazir Queen's actually bad. I didn't know that. He still remains unsigned. Let me reiterate, actually, Nazir Queen's not bad. He's 77 overall. I think he still has one more capable year in him. And Greg McCollum, a young guy, I don't know how I remember his name. I thought he was better. Who's our running? Okay, now I'm curious to see what our lineup's looking like then. Because obviously, running back, looks like we're going to give it to Tevin Justice and Eric Miles. Or Evan? No, Eric Miles, I was right. Which I can't complain about. Let those two guys, have a chance. Tevin Justice going into a, final year of his contract is kind of a prove-it year for him. cornerback, though, I don't know why we released Kari Devine. We don't have another corner. Ronnie Sloan, unless you guys believe this cornerback is going to be our future, I could understand. And then middle linebacker, we did end up franchise tagging with Ron Mitchell and then Britton Duncan. It looks like you're putting your faith in him. Okay. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't hate the moves. I still don't agree with the Kari Devine one though. The other ones I can at least get behind. So yeah, that's how I stand. Kari Devine, I think that one was stupid. Why would we do that? We had three great corners. I don't know why you're thinking, oh, let's draft this guy and have him be our future. We already had our future. We had the Bama boys and we just broke it up. That was like one of the most iconic things that I think would happen of like any series of mine was getting the Bama boys. But Dylan Northcutt, that's gonna put an end to his time in LA, presuming, or he could very well, go to the Colts. Then we re-sign him in free agency. But very great career. I haven't confirmed it yet, but I will say, and I think it's kind of a given. Dylan Northcutt is, I would say, a 99% chance going to be the next coach of our the Madden franchise. Obviously, as you can see, we have Tyree Spears from the Bears, or was it Bears? No, it was Browns last. Darren Moody was the Bears one who coached the Browns, and then because he was from the Falcons, obviously the Falcons didn't have a set coach because I've never did one before, so I couldn't really do that. John Foster coached the UCF Knights while we did that series. So, yeah, I also think I should give you guys a little review at the next team I'm going to eliminate. So, if you don't know, teams I've eliminated from my first match, or I say first, probably my main one is the Texans, the Commanders, the Chargers, the Bills, Titans, Chiefs, and Eagles. For obvious reasons, those teams are eliminated. They have, Chargers, or I go down to is Eagles. They won the Super Bowl. Chiefs. They made the Super Bowl. Titans. They drafted a QB first overall. Bills, reigning MVP. Chargers. I just did LA, so we're gonna stray away from them. Commanders. They just had offensive rookie of the year. Texans. I mean, they've made back-to-back divisional rounds. They have a good quarterback. So what division does that leave? Commanders is East, is NFC. Texans are South. Chargers are West. We already did North. Southwest. So it's East. So we already eliminated the Bills, so I'm going to eliminate another East team. And this is kind of where things start to get tricky. Damn, I misspelled next team so bad. I put NEX, or not NEX, NVX. How the fuck did I put V? Alright, officially done. The next team eliminated is the New England Patriots. Too promising of a future. You know, they just got a good head coach. Well, head coach doesn't necessarily matter because I'm going to be replacing him, so I shouldn't really use that. But Drake May, I really like him. I think he's actually going to maybe not be. I think he's going to have a very similar Jaden Daniels esque uh, year next year, where he's going to, you know, be that guy. I'm really high on him. So yeah, I think the Patriots aren't going to be it. If you can't tell, I'm trying to eliminate by division. So that leaves now 8 teams remaining, 2 in each division. Going down the list, we'll start in the NFC since there's only one, the Cowboys and the Giants. And we'll go to AFC North, then South, because we already did North. So South, we have the Colts and the Jaguars. East, we have the Dolphins and Jets. And then in West, we have the Raiders and Broncos. The goal is I take a break off or a day off every time I finish those 4 teams. So I'm not going to announce tomorrow what team I'm doing. And after that, I'll pick it up, do 4 more. And then after that, I'm going to take a day break and then do another team, day break, another team, until we figure it out. Because those final 4 teams, I want it to be suspenseful. And it should, I don't know the necessary map, it should finish right around like the mid to late 10s of July, or is the hope. Pretty much right like before, like right in between, like just right after a month before the game comes out. Obviously, it comes out August 14th, so probably, obviously not July 14th, but a bit after. That's going to do it for this stream. Hope you guys enjoyed. I did. See you guys next time, and I think I might record it. Goodbye.